YouTube, how we doing, family? It's your boy, yo, and there's another episode of the Ballpark Show. I go through every MLB game every day and try and narrow it down to the plays that I personally see the most value in. Today's Saturday, September 13th. I have 3 games and 4 props at the end, so stick around. I do this every day for free, so please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your favorite game in the comment section below. Without further ado, let me get into today's recap. Recapping yesterday, we cashed our highlighted play of the day. We took the Washington Nationals on the money line against the Pittsburgh Pirates. This one played out perfectly. The Pirates led 3-0 going into the 6th, but the Nationals made an impressive comeback, putting up 6 runs in the late innings. I was able to get plus 600 live on the money line, huge value. Final score was 6-5 Washington. We're now 8-8 highlighted in September, 21-14 on every game analyzed with a ton of plus money in the mix. Let's keep the momentum rolling and start a streak today. Without further ado, let me get into today's games. All of my selections for today are in the later games. I'm not a big fan of the early slate. Regardless, I did want to mention a couple plays in case you guys want some early action. In the Rays and Cubs game, I'm leaning towards the Rays on the money line. Rasmussen's been an absolute ace, and the Cubs lineup hasn't been themselves over the last 30 days. Yeah, they showed up yesterday, but they still didn't score a single run after the 4th inning. I also lean towards the Royals and Phillies over 9.5 runs. Berger and Walker are both due for regression, and we've seen the Phillies lineup start to wake up recently. They currently rank number 1 in the league over the last 30 days. In our first official matchup, we have the Houston Astros in Atlanta taking on the Atlanta Braves. Astros are minus 132 on the money line, and the total is 8.5 runs. On the mound, we have Hunter Brown going for Houston, and we have Bryce Elder going for Atlanta. Hunter Brown obviously has the better current numbers, but this isn't as much of a mismatch as it may seem. Elder has a 4.6 expected ERA, so we should see improvement, and his last few starts have been excellent. 2 earned runs or fewer against the Phillies and the Mets. The Astros lineup is a step down in competition. Brown has a 3.1 expected ERA, better than Elder, but that still means we should see regression from his current 2.2. The biggest problem I see in his game is too much hard contact. Against the Braves lineup, that doesn't bode well. Guys like Acuna, Michael Harris, Matt Olson, they can easily go yard and flip the script on this game. Love the price. We're taking the Braves on the money line. You can find it for plus 108 odds as our first selection. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the St. Louis Cardinals in Milwaukee taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers are minus 155 on the money line, and the total is 7.5 runs. On the mound, we have Sonny Gray going for St. Louis, and we have Jacob Misiorowski going for Milwaukee. I've been doing this sports betting stuff for a while now, and I remember when Sonny Gray was an ace. Twins lineup behind him, we used to be all over it. Crazy how times change. These days, he's got a 4.0 expected ERA. The Cardinals have won games behind him, but this Brewers lineup is another animal. Misiorowski has a slightly better current numbers, but what really stands out to me is his advanced metrics. 2.7 expected ERA, and that makes sense based on his 35% strikeout rate, one of the highest in the league. St. Louis is already a team that strikes out at a high clip. They have a long night ahead of them. We're taking the Brewers on the run line. You can find it for plus 135 odds as our highlighted selection. Let's move. In our last and final matchup, we have the Cincinnati Reds in Oakland taking on the Oakland Athletics. Reds are minus 118 on the money line, and the total is 9 runs. On the mound, we have Hunter Green going for Cincy, and we have Luis Severino going for Oakland. This is definitely a pitching mismatch in favor of Cincy. Green's been exceptional, 2.5 current and a 3.0 expected ERA. Severino's been serviceable, but he's going to give up runs. The thing for me in any sport is you have to score the ball. Yeah, you can have the best pitchers, best defense, whatever, but if you're not scoring runs, you're not winning games. Look at Hunter Green, an absolute ace, but 6-4, almost a 50% win rate. He shows up, but the Reds lineup doesn't always show up behind him. It's kind of the opposite scenario for Oakland, especially recently. They'll give up a few runs, but I can count on their offense to show up and at least keep a game competitive. We're taking the A's on the money line. You can find it for minus 102 odds as our last and final selection. All right, guys, let me get into the props for today, and I'll get you in and out of here. First, we cashed with them yesterday, but I have to run it back. We're taking Kyle Schwarber of the Philadelphia Phillies to get 2 or more bases. When he gets in that mode, don't ask questions. 2.5 OPS against Berger, love the matchup. Next, we're taking Cody Clemens of the Minnesota Twins to get 2 or more bases. I've been seeing the hard contact. He was in my notes 2 days ago. He whiffed that day, but he hit 3 home runs last night. He's in good form. I think he at least gets us 2. Next, we're taking Ezekiel Tovar of the Colorado Rockies to get 2 or more bases. If you guys didn't know, the man's the best player on the Rockies. He's seen Dylan Cease 12 times in his career. He's batting a .333 with a .8 OPS. You guys saw the Rockies upset those boys yesterday. Last but definitely not least, we're taking Nick Kurtz of the Oakland Athletics to get 2 or more bases. Until he's tested, don't ask questions. 300 average and a 1.0 OPS on the season. Lock it in. And that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We're now 8-8, highlighted in September. Starting to rack up the units on every game analyzed, 21-14, but I'll stay locked in on my highlighted plays. I appreciate the support so much. I do this every day for free, so please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy, yo! And until the next one, I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.